My name is Stephen Walker with Ramsack Nation. I'm going to tell you the story of a buck we named 20 Inches. I wanted to share a story with you of a buck that started about 2008, 2009. My cousin, we had just started really getting into running cameras on his place. Now, he's got about 300 acres. It's not a huge place, but he has managed it really great. And he called me and told me about a picture he had got of a deer that he said, this deer is 20 inches wide. And so from then on, we nicknamed him 20 Inches. So the first year, he was pretty much the typical 8-point frame that he is now. We were excited to hunt him. We hunted him the whole year. Never saw him one time. We had multiple people hunting that farm, but never saw him one time. Roll on to what would be 2010. He showed up again that year, but that year he had his G3 broken. And although we hunted him hard still, we wanted to kill him, I was kind of glad that we didn't. Nobody ever saw him. Fast forward to 2011, we roll in, we start hunting. We hunted a few days and we found a trail that run along my cousin's property line. And it was just, beaten out where it was crossing a road. And my cousin had been thinking about where this deer possibly was bedding. And he says, I bet that deer is bedding here and waiting till it's fully dark before he comes into the ag field. Because again, nobody had ever saw this deer. We made a plan. We went in, I set up a climber. We cut a little trail with just, some clippers. We cut this little trail down a fire line. And I imagine I could maybe see 50 yards. And the day that we cut the shooting lane, we cut it midday, and I would say about 3 o'clock it started raining. It rained all that evening, and that night it was perfect, washed out all of our scent. I didn't hunt it the next morning, but the next evening, went in there, wind was good. And right before dark, he steps out, starts walking straight towards me. I literally shot him at probably 10 yards. This deer right here, green, scored like 146, 148, right in there. And to this day, it is still the biggest deer score-wise that we have brought off of that place. So a great story of a buck that we call 20 Inches. We wanted to share it with you. Walker Hunting Traditions by Ramsack Nation is coming your way, and it all begins right here and right now.
We're putting in a new stand. This is my sister's place, which is right in front of my house here in Treatland County. And she has planted pines here this year. So we have always seen that planted pines, their first 2 or 3 years, is probably the best deer hunting that we get around here. So I'm actually sitting on the road. This is actually where our stand will be sitting. So you can tell we've got a road cut, and it goes all the way to the back of my sister's property. So that will be a shooting lane along with a road. And then if you kind of take a look down these power lines, I don't know how well you can see it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. But you'll see that we got kind of some mohawks cut down through there. And I'm sure some people think that's probably not a good idea. But what we found out through the years is that the more cover you can give them in a spot like this, the more apt you're able to see these bucks that come through. So we've had really good success. We've been doing that about 20 years with different stands that we have. And I think everybody would, Walker Hunting Traditions and Ramsack would say that that has really been the way to go for us.
Theodore Roosevelt once said, nothing in the world is worth having or worth doing unless it means effort. This is what effort looks like. Thank you to Huey Walker.
This buck has put it on us for about 3 years in a row. And he always rubs right here. And you can see the trail coming through. I'm sure a lot of does are using it too. Stand we call a bobtail that is further up. And today we're gonna put some corn in there and put a camera on it, just see if we can get a look at him. He if he's the same deer, and I think he is, he was a big 8-point. even 3 years ago, he was not an old 8-point, but he had a lot of height and he had a lot of, you can see the one's going in right there too, had a lot of height and a lot of mass. You'll see these are some big trees. This is actually a branch that splits 2 large agricultural fields, and if you turn it the other way, you'll see that we've got a cornfield that's just been harvested. And typically, the way things are now with corn, they typically get it out of the field and they'll have it replanted with some kind of grain in the next month. So it looks like they're getting ready to burn it off. But anyway, we're only about 150 yards from where we just looked at that rub. So we've got a stand right here. It's called the Bobtail, and Steven with Ramsack Nation actually pinpointed this spot a couple of years ago, and the way it's set up, you can actually look and watch down the whole side of the field there, which deer tend to come out a good bit. And it matches up real well with our tower stand that is across the field just over on the back side. So we're gonna see, we're about to get a camera out and get some corn out and see what we got going here. We'll check it in about a week or so.
All right, it's opening morning for deer season for youth. I'm in Treatland County. It's about 6:15 this morning, about 45, 47 degrees, and we're out for a big buck at a place called the Cowart Stand. We've got a couple of them called Beast and Kick. Either one of them, honestly, I'm fine with.
So Jack jumps in the stand, and it don't take very long till Kick shows up.
All right, I just killed deer we call Kick. We've had him on camera. He's one of the 3 studs that I was talking about. I shot him in his high shoulder and
Dropped him.
dropped him dead.
We're coming to you live from Treatland County, Soperton, Georgia. Today's Saturday, October the 15th. I took this doe here with my crossbow about 25 yards. It ran down in the woods, and Hugh, I notified him and Jack, and they brought Mac here, and he went to it, and here we go. We got it loaded up and ready to go.
Well, it's been a good afternoon. Jack killed one of our bigger bucks. We're proud of him for that. And Scotty made it happen with the crossbow. So we're going to get this thing through the processor and get that buck skin out and get us get it ready for a mount.
Get some meat in the freezer. Yeah, next weekend starts statewide rifle season, so I'll be using a rifle next weekend.
Yep.
Let's board this plane. Let's go to Georgia, y'all. Y'all, this Atlanta airport is crazy, especially at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Boy, I'm excited though. It's cold. Huey's fixing to pick me up right here. Let's go.
Safety's off.
Boys, we in Georgia just got here last night. We want to check the cameras one time before season opens in the morning. We just grabbed all the cards, just got back in here to Huey's. We're fixing to check them on the computer here, see what we got. End point. That's $2. Opening morning in Treatland County. Getting everything ready, about to jump on the golf cart. Take some people to their stands, but man, it ought to be fun. Cold out here. We're fixing to get the ball rolling. 2022, Treatland County, let's go. All right, y'all, we're just getting light here in Treatland County. I blew some deer out when I was easing into the stand, but I'm sitting on a a stand we call the Pond. Had several good bugs on this stand and right here in this area in the last couple of days. And so y'all stick with us. Maybe it'll get exciting here. We got there's four of us. It's on this one property. It's about probably 120 acres or so. Let's see what happens. Morning kicks off, and Todd's seeing a couple of deer. So I'm starting to see a little action here when we hear a shot and find out that Sam Byers has put one down.
First buck of the year. It's October the 22nd. We've seen probably about 10 deer this morning, several does, some small bucks early this morning. A lot of activity, and he stepped out. Got him.
Yeah, that's a deer we call Beams. He's a 10-point, probably about 180-pound deer. And Gracie was hunting with Sam this morning on her first hunt here. So he got it done. We've seen a lot of deer this morning, so good opening morning buck. Congratulations to Sam.
All right. Hey, this is Zach. This is opening morning here in Soperton, Georgia area. And seen quite a few deer this morning. This one stepped out from the direction I'm not normally used to him stepping out on that stand, and he was the second buck. I had a bigger buck come right under the stand and kind of spooked a little bit and didn't get a chance at him. This one come out a little later, and I thought he was a bigger deer, but shot him, made a perfect shot, and he dropped right there. So happy with getting one.
Well, good job, Zach.
So Sam Byers and Zach Brown have already put a couple of bucks down. And over on my stand, I'm seeing a nice buck that we named Brownie. But shortly after, we wrapped it up for the morning hunt, picked back up in the evening. We're back for the afternoon hunt. Walking into the stand, I had a deer already right here. And ain't nothing to do but just walk and try to get on into the stand. But Scotty seen a big buck running across a cotton field. Took 2 shots at him. And he said he missed him. He was a long way, but he said he's coming this way. So let's see what happens. You gotta love hunting in Georgia. There's a farm to market road not far back here behind me. Cars driving by. There's people walking down the road right here talking. And there'll probably be a big buck step out here in a minute. Here on back there. Ramsack Nation, we in Georgia, baby. The fun's just getting started. Let's kill one of these big old bugs this evening. At last light, this buck stepped out with literally like 4 minutes of shooting light left, and I was able to take the shot. Well, y'all, this is a beautiful deer. Not the deer I intended to kill, but now that I did kill him, I am grateful for him. Thank you to Huey Walker Hunting Traditions right here in Georgia, man. He puts a lot of work into this. Beautiful deer, got a little inline right there. Man, I let this deer go in the broad daylight today, and when he come out tonight, I mistakenly thought he was another deer that we named Boomer. But hey, he gonna get to ride in the back of the truck's all I can say. Beautiful deer though, man, beautiful. All right, guys, well, thank y'all for coming along on this journey with me. Right here, opening day in Georgia. Buck down. Big old body.
Yeah.
Just.
He's just young. He's a 6-year-old deer, just a little too young.
Got some big old brow tines.
Man, that's a pretty
Yeah,
deer.
look at that.
That's a pretty deer.
That's good.
Boy, what a time we having in Georgia. And this is only part one. Y'all stay tuned for part two. It's coming at you soon.